I'm going to teach you guys how to make a pinch pot. So all you need is some clay. You're going to want to start this to be a ball. And so with this, the flattest part of your hand is your palm. So if you just use your palm to work out any edges, any creases, anything like that, as much of a sphere as you can get is great. You can kind of roll it in your hands, roll it on the table. Personally, I think the best method is just using your palm. And then when you're happy with that, you're going to use your thumb. Stick your thumb into the clay, and that is going to be our opening. And then from there, we're going to pinch. That's how it gets the name pinch pot. So you're going to keep that thumb on the inside of your clay, and then you're going to pinch that wall. Turn, pinch, turn, pinch, turn, pinch, turn, pinch. So you're going to do this all the way around, and the goal is that your opening is getting wider, but also your walls are getting thinner. So once you kind of have this opening, it's easier to, kind of set it on the table. And you could work with two hands if you wanted to, and just keep turning and pinching it. But from here is where you're gonna want to decide whether you're wanting it to be more of a bowl, like pinching outwards, or if you're wanting to pinch taller. So for this one, I'll pinch a little taller. So I'm gonna start at the bottom and kind of pinch it up to get a little bit more height. And I'll just do that all the way around. A good pinch pot size for your walls, or thickness, is gonna be about the size of your pinky. So any thicker than that, it's a little too heavy, and thinner than that, it might be a little too thin and get a little wobbly. You might accidentally make a hole in it. So just really taking your time evening out these walls, but just pinching them up. And once you're kind of happy with your shape, you also want to check the inside. If it's a little too thick, you can always use your thumb to press it down, make it a little more open on the inside, even it out. So with the pinch pot, really, you're looking for just that everything can be somewhat even. So you're wanting to do these smaller pinches so that you can make sure it's even and not too heavy-handed. And so now I'll go in, now that I'm happy with my shape, and I'm just gonna smooth everything out. So right now I'm just running my thumb along the rim, getting that nice and smooth and even. And then I'll go down and smooth out my walls where I have all my little pinch marks and maybe a little crevices from the clay. Just little lines. So I will go in, smooth it out. So once you're done smoothing, you guys can really decorate this however you want. Personally, I like to use stamps a lot with my pinch pots. But I also, you could give it like a little bit of a flare. So, you could push the rim over, give it more of a lip. You could draw designs in it, give it some lines. Really make it yours, really be creative. And then last thing I want to show you guys is just how you would make a handle. So you could always use, if you've got a slab, you could just cut a part of a slab off, and that could be the handle. Or if you don't have any extra slabs, you could get a chunk of clay and roll it out on the table or in your palm to make a coil. And you don't want your handle to be too thick, because it also can break if you're not careful. So I'm gonna leave mine a little bit on the thicker side here. Cut that, that's a pretty good size handle. You don't want it to be too thick because then it's not comfortable in your hand. And anytime we're attaching a piece of clay to a piece of clay, we want to score and slip. So I'm using my scratch marks to score it up on both parts where it's going to attach to my cup. So there's my handle. I'm going to do it on the side of my cup where it's going to sit. And then you see a little bit of slip that you're going to put in those scratch marks. So I'm going to put my slip in my scratch marks. And now I can add my handle to my pot. So just line those scratch marks up together. And then I'm just gonna use my thumb and blend all that clay out. So it's gonna look like one piece rather than two separate ones. So your scratch marks and your slip will make your handle be attached, but to make it look nice, you're gonna still wanna weld that clay out and really smooth out that attachment and those lines. We don't want any sharp edges for when the clay is fired. And that's how we make a pinch pot.